video earlier today, we talked about guessing all the Gumball episodes in season 7's plot simply based on their episode name. And since then, I've thought of something. And one comment said that the astrological is Mr. Small's episode. So I believe that Mr. Small will try to teach the kids about astrology before they realize the reason they're not understanding is because Mr. Small doesn't either. The letter is probably about maybe a story. Where Gumball is writing a letter, probably to Penny. And it. Yeah, and maybe Darwin could also be writing a letter to Carrie. And at some point they'd accidentally swap the letters. The traffic could be where Richard and Nicole are both stuck in traffic, and with just Gumball, Darwin, and Anais, the whole house could fall into chaos. Yes. The distance could possibly be where Gumball, Darwin, or Irwin, or Gumball and Penny, or some other classmate, or some other friend of Gumball is put in a different class from Gumball. The climb. I still don't know. Like I said earlier, the summoning could have Darwin used dark magic. But last video I forgot to explain in depth what this episode could be. They could. Darwin could end up using dark magic to impress Carrie before realizing he could possibly summon Carrie's dad, the Snatcher. Sure. And when he does, it all seems normal until it all gets bad again. I've also recently in the recordings for this and the previous, I thought the proposal could be about Tobias's older sister, Rachel Wilson, who only appeared in one episode of The Party. And will be forgotten until Darwin's yearbook clip show episode about Ode called Clayton, where Tobias tells Darwin that Rachel went off to college. if Rachel went off to college, she's probably older than 18. So possibly this episode, the proposal could be about her. Her. However, the boring could also be about Hector. Where Hector tries to be less boring. And then and it goes wrong again, like in the Colossus. But instead, he would do it in a more peaceful manner, and trying to not destroy the town. Now, for the repression, I don't. Actually, no. But for the climb, I just thought of this. What if Gumball? What if Gumball and Darwin, when realize they need to be better people and try to instantly climb up to Alan's level? Well, if you're trying to instantly climb up to that level of niceness, I don't think that's gonna work out very good. Which is why it would be funny. Also, the student could be a side character focused episode. So possibly one with Sarah, since I haven't brought up Sarah for any of here. The letter could also possibly be about Sarah. And the thing could possibly also be about Sarah. The thing could also be about Ocho. Like, thing is super vague. It could be about any of these characters, but there's so, and I feel like the gut would have, like I explained earlier, would have Tobias, Gumball, and Darwin would do crazy stuff, but being encouraged by Tobias. Yes. Also, possibly, the teacher could be Miss Simeon's episode. Possibly Miss Simeon could get fired. And be replaced by a different teacher who's much nicer than Miss Simeon. Until Miss Simeon tries to earn back her teacher title. And so, chaos would ensue. The portrait could possibly. The portrait, however, could possibly have Banana Joe or someone else find out Banana's and Barbara's secret of how she makes paintings of the future, and try to use it to get cool stuff for themselves. Oh, but then they end up, but then it all ends up going. But then it goes wrong when Rob gets his hands on said magic, revealing to have found himself a time travel device in the void, which would lead into episode 13, the cancellation station, where Rob would fight them, and tries to tell him about how the void will turn, about how the world will turn into the void. And when they don't believe him, they soon realize he was right. Right after after a bunch of evil things, and even full-on places start disappearing into the void until Gumball and Darwin would manage to save the day, by using Rob's time travel device to go back before the universal remote was smashed, and use it. Wait, was the universal remote smashed? Well, at least I don't think it exists anymore. Before the universal remote stopped existing. Wait, I don't think it stopped existing either. I think they're just going to use their universal remote proper. And, well, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they will use it to delete the holes into the void out of existence. Also, I feel like both the portrait and the cancellation station would, despite being a two-parter, both be 22 minutes. The episodes on their own while being a two-parter, in order to make us hit a longer Gumball episode. One issue is it would be a little harder to program, so it could have, so they could put it into two parts, but but if it was 44 minutes, it could give time him to give everyone a reason for why, to give everything a reason for why it happens. So yeah, that's a little much longer. Follow up to my previous video from today, and I'll be talking and that it'll be great. See you next time on Saturn Comics. Thanks. Saturn Comics signing off.